What's up everyone? Today we're diving into the CycUltra All-Terrain Ebike, a machine built to tame everything from city streets to rugged gravel back roads without breaking the bank. With this monster 1250 watt motor, fat 4-inch tires, and triple shock suspension soaking up every bump, this bike strikes a rare balance between raw off-road capability and everyday rideability. Whether you're chasing sunrise views on gravel tracks or cruising through your daily commute, the CycUltra promises to deliver smooth power, surprising range, and comfort that keeps you rolling mile after mile. Stick around and we'll put it to the test and see if this budget-friendly beast lives up to its bold claims. From the moment you set eyes on the full suspension fat tire e-bike, it's clear that it was engineered with both form and function in mind. The frame's sweeping lines carry the eye from head to tube to rear dropouts in one unbroken arc. Its burnt orange finish offset by a matte black down tube panel that houses the removable battery. Above the top tube dips low for semi-step-through clearance without compromising strength, making it easy to step aboard even when you're loaded up for a long ride. The oversized tires, nearly 4 inches wide, flank sturdy black rims, promising to roll smoothly over gravel, dirt, and more forgiving pavement. Subtle details like the internally routed cables, the coil spring seat post tucked beneath a comfortably shaped saddle, and the inverted black fork with beefy stanchions all speak to a level of finish that belies its rugged mission. Everything about the bike's silhouette says ready for adventure, yet the uncluttered lines and clean welds give it a modern, almost architectural grace. Peer closer and you'll appreciate the thoughtful craftsmanship. Cable housings vanish into smooth frame ports. Weld beads run evenly along every joint, and the spring-loaded kickstand sits discreetly behind the bottom bracket. The handlebars sweep back just enough to keep the wrist neutral, and the grips are molded to relieve pressure on long hauls. On the right side rest a half-twist throttle, while the left hosts a thumb-activated motor cutoff for quick disengagement. Hydraulic disc brakes, 4-piston up front, 2-piston in the rear, clamp oversized 203mm rotors whose polished surfaces peek from behind the deep-treaded rubber. These elements combine into a bike that wears its rugged capability lightly, a machine as comfortable in a sleek urban setting as it is ready for the rough stuff. Alright, let's get this thing unboxed. Unboxing the bike is straightforward, and all necessary tools for assembly are included. First, I remove the packaging straps and open the box carefully, removing the tape and pulling the box free of the staples. Then I laid the box down. I slid the e-bike out carefully. Stand the e-bike up and remove all zip ties and protective foam, revealing the sleek design of the CycUltra All-Terrain Ebike. Install the handlebars by loosening the bolts on the bike stem, centering the handlebars and rotating them to align with your preferred riding position before tightening the bolts securely. For the front wheel, loosen the bolts of the protective bar on the front fork. Add the front wheel and tighten the bolts to ensure it is secure. The pedals are clearly marked for the left and right sides, matching the pedal stems. Screw in the pedals and use a wrench to further tighten them easily. Install the front headlamp by loosening the bolts on the fork brace, attaching the headlamp, and adjusting its orientation to face forward. Alright, let's take this thing for a ride. At the heart of the design of the CYCROWN CycUltra e-bike lies a 48-volt 17.5 amp hour lithium-ion battery feeding a 750 watt nominal brushless rear hub motor. This translates to just over 840 watt hours of stored energy, enough to carry the bike well beyond 50 miles on moderate throttle and assist settings. More than ample for the majority of off-grid outings. The battery locks into place with a reassuring click and can be removed via a keyed latch, letting you bring it inside for charging without hauling the entire bike. A standard 3-amp charger restores a drained pack in roughly 5 hours. If you opt for a higher output charger, you can shave that down to 3 hours. On a full charge, the bike's electronic systems and drivetrain integrate so seamlessly that the power delivery feels almost telepathic. Ready to apply torque the moment your thumb twist or your pedal stroke reaches a set threshold. Power delivery is immediate and clean. Stand on the pedals or give the throttle a firm twist, and the motor springs to life, delivering a burst of torque that surges the bike forward, even on loose stones. When you shift down through the Shimano 9-speed cassette, you unlock enough mechanical advantage to tackle steep pitches without fatigue. Ratchet back up into the higher sprockets, and the motor cuts out sharply above the 28 mph limit, leaving you in control of your momentum. The drivetrain shifts are crisp, and you never feel ghost pedaling. Each click of the gear lever corresponds exactly to a change in resistance, allowing you to find the perfect cadence for any slope. If I could describe the bike with one word, it would be balanced. The bike just feels balanced and steady. Suspension is where this bike truly shines on rough ground. Up front, a 100mm travel inverted fork with preload adjustment and lockout offers a buttery response to bumps, roots, and washboard surfaces. At the rear, an 80mm coil spring shock sits between the seat tube and chain stays. Its spring rate tuned to support a broad weight range without harshness beneath the saddle. A suspension-style seat post further isolates every ripple in the trail, sparing your spine from pounding impacts. These 3 points of compliance transform even the worst gravel roads into something more like a well-groomed path, preserving rider energy and maintaining tire contact for traction. Braking and control go hand in hand. Hydraulic disc brakes provide modulation that is both smooth and authoritative. On steep descents across loose terrain, you can feather the levers to scrub just the right amount of speed without locking up. Squeeze firmly for emergency stops without any hint of fade. The oversized rotors dissipate heat efficiently, so after miles of descending, you still enjoy precise braking performance coupled with the bike's balanced geometry, a blend of stable trail bike angles and enough agility for tighter turns. You feel in command, able to follow a line rather than punish the machine for poor handling. Electronic feedback is delivered through a full color LCD display that tilts toward the rider to cut glare. It shows real-time speed, remaining battery percentage, trip distance, and the current pedal assistance level. Buttons mounted on the left control up and down shifts through 5 assist modes. Toggle the bright LED headlight on or off and engage a walk assist function. Even in bright sunlight, the backlit screen remains legible, and at night, its soft glow provides enough info without stealing focus from the trail ahead. With the tech overview covered, it's time to describe what happens when you unleash this bike on unpaved mountain roads. As you roll out, the fork unlocks to let you feel the trail's every contour. Loose gravel becomes a playground. Fat tires carve into small stones without squirming, while the rear shock gives just enough resistance to keep the wheel grounded. On gentle uphill grades, a mid-level assist setting lets you literally glide forward, your legs spinning freely while the motor picks up the load. When the gradient increases, shifting down and nudging the throttle delivers a smooth, sustained push that propels you upward without any drama. You sense the difference from a single motorbike instantly. Wheel spin is kept at bay, and each rise feels like a gentle invitation rather than an obstacle to brute force. Descending, the suspension soaks up chatter and squeezes every last bit of control from the chassis. Wheels stay planted even when the road turns into loose-packed washboard or larger irregular stones appear. Braking into a turn is a precise affair. You feather the levers and the bike slows in a straight line, allowing you to tip into the arc and exit smoothly. The frame's geometry maintains composure, so you feel balanced rather than flung forward, and the hydraulic system keeps braking power constant, curve after curve without fading into mush. On varying stretches where the trail alternates between coarse gravel and harder packed segments, the bike's compliance remains firm and uniform. You can sit or stand, and both positions feel secure. The handlebar's slight rear sweep lets your wrist stay neutral, and you never feel the need to lock your elbows, just gentle pressure through the grips. When you stand, the foot pegs stay planted under your weight, and the pedals maintain a flat, supportive platform for confidence. Even repeated transitions between seated pedaling and standing sprints feel fluid thanks to the frame's stiffness and the coordinated damping of each suspension element. Over hours of riding, the battery's efficiency and the drivetrain's seamless integration become more than technical bragging points. They turn into freedom. You stop paying attention to power percentages and gear ratios and start focusing solely on the ride. The gentle hum of the motor recedes into the background, blending with wind in the trees and the muted crunch of gravel under tire. You find rhythm, a cadence that matches the rise and fall of the terrain, and the bike moves in perfect sync, always ready to provide a little more if you ask. When you finally coast to a halt at the end of the day, you realize that this machine has done more than to shuttle you through rough terrain. It's given you back energy you might otherwise have spent fighting surface underfoot. It delivered confidence in places where lesser bikes would have you second-guessing every line. Its robust build, from suspension to brakes to drivetrain, has remained unfazed by hours of varied trail conditions, and the battery still shows enough reserve that you know tomorrow's ride could start just as strong. In the end, this full suspension fat tire e-bike isn't just a means of transport, it's a tool that quietly extends your capabilities. Its purposeful design, powerful yet refined motor and battery system, and calibrated suspension all combine to turn rough, unpaved mountain roads into a seamless extension of your will. Whether you seek the quiet push of pedal assist up a long grade or the immediate torque of a throttle-powered sprint, it delivers without fuss. And when the trail turns rough, it remains composed, letting you focus on the joy of motion rather than the struggle to preserve speed. For anyone who wants a bike that excels on gravel roads, yet still looks at home parked by a cafe, this is a machine that does it all with quiet assurance and unshakable confidence. Thanks for watching, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and join us on this electrifying journey. This is Jeremy Vinny signing off. We'll see you on the next one.